Boss of the Swamp icebox I built. I'm a huge fan of Boss of the Swamp and learned a lot. And one of the reasons I started this channel is I've done other things that I wanted to show, but this is one of the things I learned from him. We do have a refrigerator on solar panels. February is our worst time for solar production. It's East Tennessee. Suicide gray weather for about a month. We've already had over 2 feet of rain. It's constantly cloudy. We went 8 days without production. So this is my backup. I've also got a refrigerator that I'm working on that came out of a camper. This works really, really well. So what I've done, you'll see the countertop here and then the countertop here. I don't have the carpenter skills as Boss of the Swamp. So I was like, how am I going to build it? And I don't have a cabinet shop. So what I did, this came from Lowe's. This is a sink cabinet, open big in the back. So what I did, I cut the countertop, placed it on top. I placed another countertop here, and then it blends in with the rest of the kitchen. So the first thing I did, the wood stove's right here. So what I did a thermal barrier just out of roofing tin, and this keeps the heat off the ice box and helps the insulation value. It doesn't have to work as hard. So I'm going to show you the inside. I've got some lights going on. So if you'll see in the back, I've got a USB driven fan off a power pack. This is where I had to do it a little different than Boss of the Swamp. It's hot here in the south. We don't get as cold. So, and here's a little tidbit. This ice box is on the south side of my cabin. Well, we're in the south. We get a lot of our wind from the north that's cold, and we need it for the winter to feed cold air to this box. Well, it's on the south. So that little fan drives cold air from the outside in, and it works really well. I went with a ton of insulation. Here you'll see vinyl coated white insulation board that I used for the inside. I used wire racks just like you would in a closet. I painted the boards that hold it up in white to help it where it'd be really clean. You see this blue container on the bottom. In the summer or spring, if I want to just use this, keep going for an ice box, I'll put ice in here or frozen jugs of ice with salt water in it. But if I get condensation, this bucket gathers the condensation. So one other thing you can see in the back, I didn't have the skills to make a sliding vent. So what I used a Crawlspace Vent that's adjustable for to open and close. I'm going to take the camera and I'm going to show you one other thing. I'm using Harbor Freight lights mounted on metal. They're magnetic, and all I can do is just turn them off and on, and I do not have to have this wired in to my solar bank. I've got this light right here just to help the camera out. But these other two lights I constantly use. All I gotta do is push a button and they turn on. And you can see how I insulated the door right here, insulated the bottom, and then on the cabinet I put a gasket material. Here you'll see a spring that's used for screen doors. This gives it a tight fit. See how tight that is? No cold air is coming out. The doors are insulated. And then it blends into the rest of the cabinetry of the kitchen. I'm going to go outside and show you how the outside looks. But this has worked. I can't tell you how good this has worked for us. The really cool thing is in February, I can bring some ice packs up, and it works really well. Bags of ice, and right now it's just cold air coming from the outside, and I do not have to use my battery bank. I'm going to go to the battery bank just to show you. Right now I'm at full charge, but I won't be for long. We've got more cloudy weather coming. So we're going to go to the outside next. Everybody, so now I want to show you the outside. So what I did is I cut little pieces of strip wood and built this out. And the reason I did that, this vent opens and closes, makes it a lot easier, gives me a little bit more swing, especially with the skinny as the walls are. So trimmed it out, painted it, and like I said, this is for a crawl space for a basement. I had to get it on Lowe's.com. I didn't like what they had in stock, so I just went and ordered it online like most everything we do now. And the really cool part, this has already got mesh in it, to keep bugs out. And we have a stink bug and ladybug problem up here in the mountains. It's horrible. So to close it, all I gotta do is open and close it, and that's it. So this works really well, and I recommend it if anybody's going to try to attempt to do anything off-grid. I'm real adamant about having backup for the backup. So I'm wiring it right now. I'll have a freezer that I can use ice for this. I've got solar that's powering the refrigerator. I've got an old camper refrigerator that I'm about to gut. That'll be another episode. We found a camper on our property. And then this ice box. So between that, I've got it covered. One way or the other, I'm going to have it where I can keep food and keep cold adult beverages also. So I hope you enjoyed this video. This is a tribute to the boss of the swamp. I didn't want somebody clicking on here and go, ah, he's trying to ride the coattails of the boss of the swamp. And I hope boss of the swamp is watching this, because you really built this. I just put it together. And I appreciate all the things you've done to teach me on the things that I had to fill the gaps in on. So I thought this channel would be a good way to pass it forward to others and show you just another little technique, especially if you don't have the carpenter skills, which I don't. I'm a wood butcher. I can frame, but I can't trim out. And this made it a lot easier. I find it easier to go buy the stuff and try to manipulate it and make it work. So if you want to have this, here's your material list. You need a Crawlspace Vent. You need a cabinet that's for sinks. It's open in the back. Lots of insulation. Put some shelves up. Make sure you're getting cold air, and I love that USB fan that I've got. So with the power pack, that thing will run days, and that drives the cold air in there. The temperature right now outside is 40 degrees. The temperature inside that ice box is 40 degrees. Last night it got in the 30s, so I can regulate this. I can also regulate the temperature. If it starts getting above 40, I can shut this vent, and it works just like a refrigerator. So I appreciate you watching, and if you like this video, give me a thumbs up and please subscribe. I'm trying to grow the channel, and like I said, I started this channel to help others. I find a lot of information. Either somebody doesn't have the skills, or they're super rich and then they just can throw money at the problem. I don't have that luxury, and I figure I'd help others. So I appreciate you watching. God bless.